Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on actors in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. There we go. That said, last stream I did go over meshes type stuff, but I thought that there are different kind of classes. I might actually work on every single class one at a time, but today I'm working on actors. That said, let's go to my gameplay screen. Let me say something like, "Say in live exclamation." Okay, let's see. So let's get that down. Let's move that. Okay, perfect. Just kidding. Okay, hiding Calvin here. Wake up, chat. The grind is live. People back in the arena, not to show off, not to pretend, but to learn for real. Today is not about perfection. Today is about understanding. You just watched a mesh that wouldn't move start moving. That means the brain is turning on. Remember this. Remember it very well. Confusion is not failure. Confusion is the sound of your skill level increasing. So chat, stay sharp. People, sit straight. We write code, we break it, we fix it, we grow. Okay, let's say something like, let's say today I want to work on, let's say, the actor class in Unreal Engine 5. Okay, so can you explain me everything that I need to know about it? Question mark. That's it, guys. After the stream was over, I did go over the docs and watch a few tutorials, and I did actually understand that we can change maps too. Yo, Vik, how you doing, well? I appreciate you joining this stream. That's it. Let me open my Unreal Engine real quick. Let me just get that shared. So there we go. Okay, and guys, this is kind of laggy for some reason. There we go. Okay, I think the lag's gone, guys. We're good. There we go. Let's go ahead and extend it from the bottom as well. Okay, perfect. Maybe increase it a bit more. There we go. Okay, now this is the Unreal Engine, but if I were to go to files, go to something like new level and go to basic level, I can actually change the map to look something like this. So I would not have all the different kind of meshes type stuff. Actually, I think this is the basic map that people use type stuff. Okay, that's it. Let's get sensei/chatgpt up here again. Maybe I increase this from here. Okay, good, excellent choice. The actor class is not a random topic. It's the spine of Unreal Engine. You understand this? You understand 60% of UE gameplay logic? Okay, I'm assuming UE is Unreal Engine. Sit still, we go slow, clean, and deep. No code? No code yet, just concepts. What an actor is, the core idea. An actor is any object that exists in the game world and has a transform. Transform equals to location, rotation, and scale. I see. If it exists in the level, can be moved, can be spawned, can be destroyed, it is an actor. Example, player, enemy, boss, pickup, moving platform, camera rig, trigger volumes. I think I see. Okay, if it lives in the world, it's probably an actor. What an actor is not? An actor is not just a mesh, not just a texture, just logic, just math. Okay. Actor are containers. They hold components and behaviors. This is where most beginners get confused. Actor equals to body, components equals to organs. I see. A boss actor is the body, your U static mesh component is the organ. Okay, without components, actor is invisible. Actor does nothing. Actor is just an empty shell. The important actor rule, memorize this: actors do not render, components do. Actor owns concepts, control components, move components through root component. Okay, component straw. Okay, I think I see root component. This is crucial. Every actor has one root component. The root component decides where the actor is, how it moves, what follows it. When you write root component equals to mesh, you told Unreal this mesh defines the actor's position. That's why movement worked. No root, no visible movement. I see. Okay, did you start learning SDL3? Honestly, I did start Unreal Engine 5 because I felt SDL3 did get pretty easy type stuff, so I was not getting anywhere because I was just working on new programs. For example, I worked on a program where the user and NPC can talk depending on the NPC's mood. Later on, I went to the dice roller program. I was I'm just working on programs, not adding actual AI logic. So I thought might as well try SDL3 because I will be using Python here as well. That's it. Let's see. Actor life cycle. When thing happens, this is the timeline. Every actor follows. Constructor runs when the actor is created. Used to create components. Set default, set up hierarchy. No game logic here. Begin play runs when the game starts or actors spawn. World exists, other actors exist. Safe to start. This is where AI timer setup begins. Tick runs every frame, only if enabled. Used for movement, timer, continuous behavior. Tick is powerful, tick is dangerous, use it wisely. N/play end play slash destroyed. Clean up death explosions. I think I see. Okay, why actors move but meshes don't? Set actor location. That moves the actor, the root component, not attached component. I see. If the mesh is not the root, it won't move unless attached properly. This is why root components matter. Actor versus pawn versus character. Important distinction. Actor is generic, anything in the world. Pawn, actor that can be controlled. Character, pawn with movement. Capsule, skeletal, mesh built in. Okay, so I feel like if I gotta go ahead and move, what you would call it, a mesh with key controls, I gotta set that to be a character class, not an actor class. Okay, if you don't remember, I'm Surix, if you remember that name. Honestly, I do remember you hiding. It's honestly been a long time. Okay, that's it. Your boss can be made an actor for now. Later, maybe a pawn or character. You started correctly with actor. Why we start with actor? Good and stinks. Actor teaches components, transform, life cycle, movement, ownership, engine rules. If you skip actor, pawn slash character feels like magic and confusion. Okay, burn this into your brain. Actor container, component functionality, root component, movement authority, constructor, setup, begin player, start logic, take continuous behavior. I might want to actually take a screenshot of this, guys, because I feel this is going to be really important. Like, look after the stream. Okay, what we do on stream, next step is control learning. Add a speed variable to actor, okay. Move actor using input, not AI. Learn attach versus root versus child components. Then collision, then simple AI movement. Okay, so if I were to get my Unreal Engine up here, now I gotta firstly go ahead and load a actor, because if I were to go to my content drawer, it's honestly empty. I just have like a engine that I did not have last stream, I think. That's it. Let's go ahead and close my content drawer, guys. I think my eyelash just went in my eyes. Okay. Okay, I think actually my eyelash just went in my eyes. That's it. Let me drink some coffee real quick. Okay, perfect. Now, to actually create an actor, I'm going to go to my tools. I'm going to create a new C++ class. It is going to be called an actor class. There are stuff under actors as well. I didn't know that. Okay, so I'm going to go with an actor class, and then I'm going to hit next. I might call my actor something like boss actor, because I am going to be using my boss PNG, which stands for like my floor boss type stuff. And then I'm going to create a class and then adding code to project. So the code is being added to my C++ or my Visual Studio. Hiding Milo Runner, is that Pin's her name? I appreciate you joining the stream. Is it game development? Honestly, for the time being, I am like working on game development type stuff, but by the end of my program for like 250 series, my goal is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic as well. So I will be going more Python as well once my C++ series is over, and I get a pretty good idea of my, whatchamacallit, of my Unreal Engine. If you're on movement, you should multiply the pixel amount by delta time, or your game will be FPS dependent. Actually, that does make sense. I did like multiply my speed by my delta time last stream. That's it. Now that I've created an actor, I'm going to go to my content drawer under C++ classes. I'm going to go ahead and extend that till, let's go to my main. I have a boss actor here. I'm going to drag my boss actor here. Okay, so I have a boss actor in my outliner right now, all the way there. But there's nothing set to it, so I'm gonna go to Windows. Let's go to something like details. Okay, so in my details section, let's go ahead and extend this real quick. What up, guys? There we go. Okay, so under my boss actor, okay, let's scroll all the way down. I want to go ahead and set a actor for it. Okay, where do we do that? I'm pretty sure I did that last stream. This is my actor. That is all. I have render. Okay. I'm pretty sure that I could like actually give my image up. Is it because I don't have a mesh? I think it's because of that. Let me go ahead and load a mesh inside my content drawer as well. Hi, how doing? Just casual. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, now to actually load a mesh, let me go all the way there, open my Blender's FBX file, drag it from my second monitor all the way here. Okay, maybe should I drag it like, so let me go ahead and get this back here. Okay, I think I should drag it inside my content drawer, not inside my C++ classes, because my mesh is not a class. There we go. Let's go ahead and import this in here. Okay, now I've loaded my mesh inside. So that is my mesh, that is my FBX file, and that is my material. Okay, now let me go ahead and open my chat up here again. So there we go. Okay, remember me, W. Like hiding Himanshu. I appreciate you joining the stream. Wait, I know multiple Himanshus. Are you like from the Discord server? Okay, I have a suggestion of what you can learn next after the 200 days of programming, because I'd suggest Git, because if you want to use GitHub, you'll need it. Wait, is Git like a programming? Oh, since Git isn't programming, I see. Okay, that's it. I mean, I was planning to like work on a chatbot series after my 250 days, but I might actually look into Git as well. That's it. Now let me go ahead and open my details section again. There we go. I'm assuming I can now add my mesh up here. Can I not? Because I'm pretty sure that I should be able to see a mesh here. Okay, then let's go to my boss's class. Maybe I right click. Okay, should I go ahead and like load my mesh here as well? Because this is it like a class? Okay, this is my boss actor. It's not my boss mesh. What if I had add here? Okay, add blueprint component, add C++ component. Okay, I don't honestly see a mesh. There's cube. Maybe what if I were to go to my content drawer and just drag a mesh up here? This is like a plain mesh. Okay, so this is going to be my boss mesh. Git is very simple, though you need some basic command like line comprehension. I see. In that case, I might actually try Git. Like, I've heard of GitHub. Like, I do have a GitHub, but I didn't upload anything. I thought GitHub was just for like uploading our code once we're done with it. Oh, there we go. So do we gotta like set something to our mesh? So I have a static mesh here. Okay, and then if I were to go to my boss actor, oh, I see. What if I were to get my boss actor or my actor class inside of my mesh? Okay, I can't do that. Can I get my boss actor inside my... Okay, let's see. Let's go to my class again. I can't load anything up here because let's go ahead and exit my details up here. Can I drag by this? So I cannot drag my boss's mesh inside my boss's actor. Okay, but I do have a mesh here. Okay, Calsmanier, you're on a different stream, but if you see this on stream, it's not because mastery takes 2 years around. If you learn 1 hour a day, I see. That actually does make sense. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and delete my static mesh because I want to go ahead and add a body for my actor class up here. I'm pretty sure I did that last stream. Like, you just gotta go to details and then I should be seeing a option where I can actually drop my mesh. Okay, I see data layers. Oh wait, there we go. Okay, why can I not use my data layers? Okay, isn't there like a docs for this external data layer? Okay, maybe let's get sensei/chatgpt up here. GitHub helps you track projects code. By the way, I see. Okay, can you please mentor me, guys? I feel like I'm like a big of a beginner to be a mentor right now, but maybe eventually, like, my end goal by the end of like all these years is to be able to teach you guys type stuff, because I do like teaching type stuff. That said, let me say something like, let's say, I did create an actor, but I cannot add a object. Let's see, add a object to my actor for some... Actually, I cannot add a mesh to my actor for some reason. Before, I could have gone to my details window and add a mesh to my actor. If that makes any sense, guys. Press add. There's a static mesh there. Is there? Alright, guys, let me check. So if I were to press add, okay, static mesh. Let's go with something like static. Okay, so it says view adjusting static mesh. Is it this? Oh, okay, I see static mesh, boss mesh. There we go. Okay, I did not know about that. I feel like Nobu is like, I think like you almost know everything about Unreal. Like, how long have you been programming for? That was kind of genius. Okay, so that was pretty much it. So all I had to do is go ahead and click add. And that's like pretty much it. Let's go to something like none. Now I could go ahead and add this here. So there we go. Okay, that's actually perfect. I have a static mesh up here. Okay, my boss actor has a mesh. Okay, perfect. Okay. Kels, but still, maybe the basics of Git are very simple, but even advanced knowledge of it isn't, and mastery takes way longer. I see. Okay, please be my mentor. Honestly, I could like give you a roadmap in like C++ or like Python that I've like used, but I don't think like I'm good enough to like be a mentor for the time being. Okay, no, I know I'm too low. I would definitely learn something from you if you're my if you mentor me. Honestly, what do you need mentorship in? Like, is it like C++, Python or something? Okay, no, I'm too low. I would definitely learn something to Okay, in that case, I might actually have a few tutorial videos because I was like working on tutorial videos in SDL3. But yesterday I spent like a lot of time working on my Unreal stuff. That's it. Let me say something like, let's say it worked. I just had to click the add a button and add a static mesh to my actor. Dot dot dot. Now, to actually add key controls, what would I need to do? And also, before that, would I need a camera question mark? I think I would need a camera. I meant the basics of Git as knowing to commit, how to stage, and how to roll back is pretty much 99% of Git usage, I see. I'm a Unity user for over a decade now, didn't use Unreal that much, but the skill transfers, I see. That actually sounds so cool, guys. A decade is actually pretty cool. That's it, good, you found it yourself. That click meant your brain's synced with Unreal's logic that matters more than any code. Now focus, we answer 2 questions in the correct order. Do you need camera for key controls? What do you actually need to add key controls? No code yet, concepts first. Do you need a camera to move an actor? Short answer, no, you don't need a camera to move an actor. I wasn't asking camera for moving an actor. Long important answers, movement is math plus input. Camera is just how you see it. You can move an actor with key controls, no camera. You will want a camera because otherwise you won't know where it's going. You'll think movement is broken when it's not. So the rule is camera is not required. Camera is required for safety. What do you actually need for key controls? The real requirements for an actor to move with keys, it needs 4 things. Miss 1, nothing happens. Requirement 1, input exists, project settings. So should I create like boolean input variable type stuff? Yeah, that's true, and obviously he doesn't need to master Git, but maybe a 30 or 50 day series of learning Git, I might actually try that in that case, because I did eventually want to learn Git type stuff. That said, Unreal does not guess your keys, you must tell it. WS means forward, A and D means right, okay? A and D is right, so do these 2 buttons means right? This is done in project settings, input, so I gotta go to my project settings, input. This creates access mapping. Without this, no input values, your function will never fire, dead silence. Requirement 2, the actor is allowed to receive input. Actors do not receive input by default, okay? Only these do automatically pawn in character. Okay, see, your actor must either be manually set to receive input or be controlled by a player controller. This is number 1 reason my keys don't work. Requirement 3, input is bound to functions. You don't have to move things with keys directly. You tell Unreal when input happens, call this function. Okay, this is done using binding, access, float values, action, press/release. If nothing is bound, keys are pressed, engine shrugs, actor does nothing. Requirement 4, movement code exists. Once input reaches your function, you must decide what to do with it. Usually change location using delta time. No movement logic, input does nothing useful. Where the camera fits into all, camera is a separate component. You usually attach a camera component or use spring arm plus camera, attach them to the actor. Okay, I think I see. Okay, so your next step on stream, I want you to choose one path. Option A, teach me how to make actor receive keyboard input. No camera yet. Teach me how to add a simple camera setup. First, guys, should I go with camera first? Honestly, I might go with a camera. Actually, I might go with user input first. Let's say something like option A should say, okay, because I did want to add a 3rd-person perspective camera right above my player type stuff, but I feel like I want to move my player first. Okay, what we're doing, big picture right now, you have an actor that has a static mesh. It moves automatically, takes plus math. What we want, you press keys, actor moves because of you. To make that happen, we must teach the actor. Now listen, step 1, why your actor does not hear keys, important. Unreal has a rule. Actors are deaf by default. Okay, also if you don't want to open the executable, I can send over the .python file too. Okay, so for the time being, I want to learn Python. Honestly, I am pretty rusty in Python right now because like I haven't worked on it for I think about maybe 100-ish days. That said, after my C+ with 400 series, once I get a pretty good grasp of Unreal, maybe after 20 or 30-ish days, I will be starting Python in Unreal as well. That's when I could actually help you guys. Okay, step 1, why your actor does not share keys. And also, if you do want like a roadmap and you wanted to get started with Python right now, you could like join my Discord stream and I could like DM you my roadmap. It is pretty detailed, starting from print statements, ending all the way to like PyQt5 type stuff. That said, Unreal has a rule: actors are deaf by default. They exist, they take, they render, they move if you force them to. But they do not listen to keyboard inputs unless you explicitly allow it. Only these listen automatically to making the actor receive input. This is non-negotiable. There are 2 valid ways to do this. You'll use the cleanest one for learning. Method enable input in begin play. Okay, conceptually you tell this, hey, when the game starts, let player 0 control me. Player 0 equals to the keyboard plus mouse. This does not mean possession, it just means listening. What this requires, mentally, not code yet. A player controller exists. Unreal creates one automatically. Your actor says, yes, I accept input from the controller. Once this happens, press keys are detected. Step 3, input values. This is where most people get lost. Unreal has 2 kinds of input. Burn this in your brains. Action input, press, release, one-time events. I have done this in SDL, so I might actually have a good idea of this. Example, jump, shoot, interact. Axis input, this is what we want. Continuous float values, updates every frame. Examples, move forward slash back, move left slash right, rotate cameras. Step 4, where the keys are defined. Okay, this is I think the first part. This part is not code, this is engine configuration. So I gotta go to my project settings, W plus 1, S minus 1, A minus 1, D plus 1. Edit, project settings, input. Okay, step 5. How inputs reaches your actor mental flow. This is the flow, read it twice. You press W. There are more steps about the 2 colons. You asked this earlier. I think I asked this last stream. Pay attention, this is pure C++. A boss actor tick. This means tick belongs to a boss actor. This is scope resolution. Translation, the function was declared in the header files. The function is defined in the C++ file. The 2 colons connect them. I see. Without it, compiler has no idea who owns the function. Chaos, red underlines everywhere. This is not Unreal. This is core C++. Okay, I see. Okay, that's step. What will you do next? Enable your input of your actor. Okay, let's do that first. So I'm assuming I gotta go to something like... I actually forgot. Give me a sec, guys. Just use ChatGPT. Honestly, I am like, whatchamacallit, using ChatGPT to like learn the basics of this. That's it. I gotta go to edit, project settings, and input. So let's go to edit. Let's go to something like project settings. And then let's go to something like input. Maybe let me go ahead and extend this because I can't like see. Hold up. What happens if I get this up here? I learned about this yesterday as well. I can get like a whole tab. Okay, so I see engine. Do I see input somewhere? Do you guys see input anywhere? Maybe I type here. Let's go with something like input. There we go. Okay, all this guy does, which is fine, I suppose. Hiding Tor Havoc, I appreciate you joining the stream. Yesterday, I did like work on docs and tutorials as well, but I felt like they didn't help me a bit. I feel like tutorials helped me a bit more than the docs type stuff. But I feel like using ChatGPT and like actually working on questions does help me a bit more. But I do want to try learning all 3. Yeah, I was AFK, so I don't know what is this py file thing about. Okay, inputs. Okay, I am an Android default. Okay, encryption. Is there input somewhere here? Okay, I think I saw input. There we go. Okay, so I'm an engine, I'm an input. Now I gotta go ahead and set my inputs. So input class name. Okay, where do I actually set my input up here? I see a bunch of things. So court. Okay, let me actually get some /ChatGPT up here. Can't hate on it because he's only using it for help and not writing the whole app. That actually does make sense, guys. Okay, let's get some /ChatGPT here. So this is done in edit project settings input. Okay, let's go ahead and copy my step 4 here real quick. So there we go. Okay, now once I copy my step 4, let's copy that, paste it here, go with shift enter and say something like, say I did go to edit projects and input, but I see a lot of options. I don't see the W, S, A, and D. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me drink some coffee, guys. Hello, please shout out Mrs. Sheikh Madik. Honestly, guys, shout out to. Wait, hold up, guys. I remember one of you guys said me to say that last time. Some of you guys said that it was just like, whatchamacallit, for just messing with me type stuff. So, no shout out, guys. That's it. Stop, breathe. This is normal. You did nothing. You did not do anything wrong. This is where Unreal likes to confuse people on purpose. Why don't you see WASD? The truth. Unreal does not show WASD by default. It shows empty input list. Okay, exactly where to look. No guessing. Edit top bar project settings. Left side input. Now look at the right panels. You'll see axis mapping. Okay, this one, lock onto it. So I gotta go to axis mapping. How to add so click the plus button, type this name exactly, move forward, press enter. Step B, add keys to it. Now you'll see move forward with an empty row. Okay, first let's do it step by step, guys. Let me go to axis mapping. So let's search for axis mapping. Okay, so did I spell axis mapping wrong? What up, guys? Am I still in the input section? Okay, I am in the input section. Now, let me actually get some C/ChatGPT up here real quick. So, there we go. Okay, now look at the right panel. So, I gotta look at the right panel. You'll see sections like these. Action mapping, axis mapping. This one, lock onto it. Okay, so the right panel. Is there a right panel up here? Okay, I don't see a right panel. So, I go ahead and extend that real quick. So, there we go. Whoops, let's get that a bit here. Okay, so right side. This is my left side. Assets. Okay, do I see axis mapping here? Access okay, so I see enable, I see advanced, I see always axis mapping. I see input class name up here. Okay, it's better to learn from GPT and online available source instead of spending money on online trash courses. That actually does make sense, guys. Okay, let's see. Let's scroll all the way up here. Axis mapping. Guys, am I just blind? Can we like zoom onto it? Okay, we cannot. Axis mapping. Let's see. Okay, don't see it here. Okay, I see device mapping. I see platform. Okay, hardware, device properties. Okay, input hardware. Okay, I see device mapping, but I don't see axis mapping. Okay, max platform use count. Okay, I see device mapping. Oh, I see axis mapping. My bad, guys. There we go. Okay, so axis mapping. And I see the plus button here as well. There we go. Axis mapping is the right there. Oh, I see. There we go. Okay, I was just blind, guys, apparently. Now, let's get some C/ChatGPT up here real quick. Let me get Unreal first. And then let's get some C/ChatGPT. There we go. Okay, now lock onto this. Axis mappings. How to add this? So click on the plus button. Type this name exactly. So move forward. Let me go ahead and copy that. Go to axis mappings. I see two though. Oh, one is action mapping. There we go. That's axis mapping. I gotta hit the plus. Type this name exactly. Move forward. It's depicted. Is that how I pronounce it? Okay, and then move forward. So I went with the move forward. Press enter. To add B, now you'll see move forward with an empty row. Click plus move forward. Click the drop down. That says none. Choose W. Set scale equal to 1. S scale -1. Oh, I see. Okay, so I see none. I'm gonna go ahead and set this to be. Wait, what did I have to set this to be, guys? Again, I forgot. What up, guys? Excuse me, guys. So there's gonna be a drop down. Click the plus. Okay, that says none. Choose W. So I gotta choose W here. Let's go with something like W. Whoops, I think uppercase W. Gamepad. Wait. Okay, keyboard, mouse. No, I think it's gotta be keyboard. Okay, go with something like keyboard. And then I'm gonna go ahead and click. Why does this show mouse now, guys? Did I mess something up real quick? No, not mouse. Oh wait, W. There we go. That worked. And then I gotta set the scale to be 1. Yo, I just joined. What are we doing here? Honestly, I am learning like whatchamacallit, Unreal Engine 5 using C++ type stuff. I did start this 3 days ago, so I am still going over the very basics, guys. Okay, and then set scale equal to 1. It is set to 1. Press plus again and choose ace. Boom, S forward, W forward, S backward set. Oh, I see how this makes sense now. That makes so much sense, guys. Scale should be set to something like 1, which I'm assuming is the same as 0.1. And then I hit plus again. There we go. This makes so much sense. Now, instead of move forwards, I'm gonna go with something like move backwards. Okay, move backward. My keyboard is going to be something like S, and then this is going to be something like -1. Okay, W and S is done. Now I gotta go ahead and add my C and D. Create another axis mapping. Go with D to scale 1 and A for -1. Okay, so move right and move left. Okay, so I'm assuming A is right and the other one is left. Wait, hold up, guys. I'm going to delete this one real quick. I gotta click this plus, I'm assuming. Let's go ahead and change this to be something like a W. Let's change that to be W. Let's change that to be S. Move forward has a plus beside it. There we go. That actually does make sense. So W is going to be something like 1. S is going to be -1. Now I'm going to go ahead and create another axis mapping. Press that, add the S as scale -1. Oh, that actually does make sense. There we go. Now I create another axis mapping. This is going to be called something like, so let's go with something like move right. I might change to something like move forward. There we go. Move forward, and that's going to be move right. FORWARD. There we go. Now for move right, I'm going to go ahead and click a plus here. My none is going to be something. Let's see. So D is 1 and A is -1. I'm going to go ahead and set my D here. This is going to be 1. And then A is going to be -1. Let's change that to -1. Okay, perfect. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm assuming I gotta hit export. Should I hit export? Axis mapping are fine for experimenting. If you want more reliable system, take a look at input actions and input mapping contents. Honestly, I am like working with the actor class. I'm assuming we'll like go with the action and everything for like the character class. I might have to fact check that. Why these scale values matter? Important scale is direction. If you see enhanced input and panic, this is the old system, new system, enhanced input, both work. Okay, checkpoint, answered cleanly. I need a yes or no. Do you see move forward and move right with WASD? Okay, let me say something like, let's say I set the values now. Should I hit export? Or something like that, or just exit the tab question mark. Axis mapping is used for axis like a joystick, like move forward and move right. And action mapping is for something like jump for buttons. Oh, I might actually have to go with action mapping as well, but first I want to just automate this. Should I click something like export? Okay, short answer, no. Burn this in your brain. Do not hit export, do not hit save as, do not overthink it. Just close the project settings as tab. Okay, I guess we just close the project settings as tab. Is it done though? Is that all I gotta click? Okay, will I be fine if I close the tab? There we go. Now that I'm done closing the tab and I have, let me reload all. While it's reloading, I might drink some coffee. Guys, actually bitter coffee does taste good. I'm trying to grow fond of them. Let's delete this. Now I have my C++ file and my actor file. Project and engine setting gets started automatically. No need to export. I see. Okay, I was just like this thing that I gotta save it type stuff. That's it. I think it's just auto saves. Now let me say something like I'm done with setting my inputs. Now what do I need to do for the next step question mark? Okay, let's see. Okay, good. You moved, no hesitation. Now we enter into the coding realm. Finally, guys, this is the exciting part. This is where actors learn to listen. Calm your hands. Eyes on the logic. We do this one step at a time. The next step is this. Memorize it. Bind input in C++. Right now, Unreal knows WASD exists, but your actor does not know it should react. So when you press keys, Unreal whispers your actor is deaf. We fixed that. Big idea. No code yet. Input in Unreal works like player controller receives input, pawn/character auto handles input, actor does not. unless you tell it you're using a actor, so you must opt in. I'm assuming opt means option. Okay, Vivek, I have another suggestion. You could learn after C++, but only if you feel ready. If not, then maybe after the one you do after C++. I see. I mean, assembly. Oh, assembly is pretty fun, and it's the hardest programming language in the world. This is also how Windows makes their bootloaders and a bit of kernel. I eventually do want to go with assembly because it is really hard. I do like doing stuff that's like really hard type stuff. But the reason I did like go with assembly this time is because I thought that assembly is used to make like operating system like Windows and all that stuff, and I thought I wouldn't have like a need for that. But then maybe after my creating a chatbot series, I might go with assembly as well. Okay, because for the time being, I am like exploring different things, and then once I do like something really much, I'm going to be sticking to that, if that makes any sense. That's it. Now, step 1, allow the actor to receive input. This happens in begin play conceptually. Hey, Unreal, let this actor listen to the player. This is not movement yet, this is just plug-in in the headphones. Step 2, override setup player input component. This function is where you say move forward, uses this function. You say move right, uses that function. Unreal already knows axis name move forward, axis name move right. Oh, I see how this is all, I see how the dots are connecting here, guys. That's it. Now you connect them to your code. Step 3, write movement functions. You will create 2 functions, one that moves forward slash back, one that moves left slash right. Each function receives a float value between -1 and 1. If value is 0, no input. If value is 1, move right. If value is -1, move backwards. This is why axis mapping exists. Important rule, listen closely. We do not jump straight into movement code. We do not spam functions. We do not touch the camera yet. We go in order or chaos follows. Your next task, no rush, no guessing. Tell me one thing. Are you using pure actor or a pawn? Open your header files and look at this line. I think I'm using a pure actor. Okay, do not continue until the answer is discipline is choosing what you want the most or what you want the most, said by Abraham Lincoln. Okay, operating systems are actually made using C. Only the bootloaders and a bit of the kernel is. I see, that actually sounds kind of fun. What is the idea? Here, using player inputs on actor. Normally, you'd use this on a pawn or character. That actually does make sense. But I thought to like work on like every single class up there, like actor, character, pawn type stuff. Today I was going over actors, and I feel like actor is the pretty basic type stuff. That said, I am using like a pure actor class and not a pawn. Let me say something like, say I am using a pure actor class and not a pawn. Okay, he's following GPT and its weird practices. Guys, I actually did like work on docs and the tutorials yesterday as well, because like off stream I do go over like tutorials because that helps a lot. But I can like actually watch tutorials on stream because of copyright, guys. I'm really scared of copyright. That's a good actor, not pawn, not character. This means you're walking the harder part, and that's why this matters. Now listen carefully, people. I'm going to rebuild this mental model in your head. No rush, no copy paste, brain first. Why is this confusing and why that's normal? In Unreal, character equals already verb for input plus movement. Pawn equals to accept input. Actor does nothing unless you command it. That's why I actually like actor, honestly. Pawn automatically receives input, way less setup and hassle. I mean, that does make sense. Eventually, once I do understand how to add inputs manually, I do want to like go with the basic stuff. That's one reason I did like work on SDL3 before I moved on to a game engine, because I just wanted to write the raw code section to understand how it works and what would you normally use for players. I see, but first I do want to like learn to do it manually type stuff, and then eventually when I'm good with it, I do want to like go with the easier way. That said, it exists, it renders, it does not listen, it does not move, it does not care. So every step we take, explicit permission. Okay, every step we take is explicit permission. Step 0, understand 2 colons. You asked this, so here I see. So a actor 2 colon take, it means this function belongs to a boss actor specifically. 2 colon is the scope resolution operator. It answers the question, whose function is this? Without it, C++ doesn't know which class owns the function. The universe collapses, compiler error. You see it everywhere. Okay, actor do not receive input by default. This is the key where we're missing earlier. Actor input is off, so we turn it on manually. Where? In the begin player. Why? Because the actor now exists in the world. Concepts, no code yet. Hey Unreal, when the game starts, let this actor listen to the player. Unreal uses something called player controller. This is why the entity that actually owns keyboard input. We're going to borrow it. Step 2, input is routed through a component. Unreal does not send key presses directly to functions. Instead, input component your function, so your actor must have input enabled bind access names to functions. I think I did that part. This binding happens in a special override function. Its name is very long and scary. Set player input component. Guys, I think like I'm used to big scary function names, because like in SDL there was like a SDL underscore create window and render function. That was like a massive name. A pawn is to create NPC and a villain stuff. Is a pawn to create NPC and villain stuff and actor for playable characters? I feel like use the character class for like playable characters, and like pawn, I think pawn is like for the AI logic and all that stuff. Although you guys could like fact check me. It hurts my soul a bit reading these ChatGPT answers, guys. That does make sense. Okay, step 4, access values. We did this part. So when you press okay, do not copy code yet, but before I let you write anything, I need to make sure, answer these questions. Why does actor move and inputs are mapped? Because we said the access mapping. Why does to colon in boss actor take? Because it goes over every single iteration type stuff, or every single, I think every single frame. What kind of value does access mapping send to the function? I think it sets input mapping, if that makes any sense. Okay, let me say something like I think why does actor move and inputs are mapped? Number 1, because we set it in the access mapping. For number 2, let's go with something like because it ticks every frame. Okay, and for number 3, let's say something like, what kind of value does access mapping send to a function? I think it's like input question mark. Okay, that's can we work on the code now question mark? Okay, character specialized pawn that adds humanoid movement to logic. That makes sense. Pawn is possessible actors, so a actor can be possessed by player and or enemy controllers. That actually sounds kind of cool. Okay, that's it. So number 1 is wrong. Let's correct each answer. Why does the actor move and inputs are mapped? Because we set an access mapping wrong. The correct answer is the actors do not receive input by default. I see. Okay, question 2. Okay, this is scope resolution operator. Okay, for number 3, what kind of value an access mapping sends? An access mapping sends a floating point value every single frame. That was kind of good. Okay, now good news. There's something guys, I'm waiting for the code. There we go. Okay, good. Add this to the begin player. We grab player controller and enable input on it. Let's see if I remember some of this part. Okay, this is a new function, so we go with the enable inputs function that has a get function as a parameter, which points towards the get first player controllers function. Okay, read it in English. Get world gives you access to the game world, so this gives me access to the game world. Get first player controller gets the keyboard's owner. Enable input plugs inputs to this actor. Without this access value, always 0 movement, and you scream, I'll yell louder. Your task okay, maybe I want to go ahead and add this. So enable input get world get first player controller. So I gotta go ahead and add this to my begin play. I'm assuming in my .c++ file. Okay, same here, but I came to a conclusion that let this do to however he wants. Okay, isn't that the same what I said before? Honestly, is it? That actually sounds kind of cool. Okay, now I'm gonna go with something like enable input. Firstly, I want to enable input, so I'm gonna go with the enable input function. There we go. So let's go with input with a pair of parentheses. Now my enable input, I'm gonna get world, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the get world function. This gives me access to my entire game world. Then I'm gonna use an arrow operator to point towards I forgot what was I gonna point towards. So normally for players and NPCs that move around like humans will be characters, pawns would be used for possessible actors that do require other forms of movement. That actually does sound kind of cool, because I am going to be going over like pawns, characters, and the other classes types too. Enable input get world get first player controller, so I gotta use the get first player controller function. Okay, let's go with the get first player. Okay, hold up guys, there we go. Get first player controller function with a pair of parentheses. Now I'm gonna go ahead and end the whole thing with a semicolon. Did I spell something wrong? I think I had a typo in Word. There we go. So I get first player. So I gotta get my first player controller. There we go. Get first player controller. There we go. So I use this function. Let's see what this function does. So it's a virtual void actors this function here. Okay. Now let's get some /ChatGPT up here. Let me read what it does again. So gives access to the game world, my get world. It gives me access to my game world, which is pointing towards my first player controller. Gets the keyboards as owners. So I'm assuming that gives me access to my keyboard type stuff. Enable input plugs input to this actor. I see. Okay, let me say something like, let's say exclamation. Okay, let's see the next part. Good, finally. If it's not compiled cleanly, that means your actor can now hear input. Now, here's how it will look in the header files. Handles. Okay, let me read the whole thing real quick. Create. Okay, we do not touch text for this. Instead, we will create it. Hold up, guys. I think I'll read the whole thing. If it compiles cleanly, that means your actor can now hear input. Nothing moves yet, but ears are plugged in. This is critical. Next step. We write the movement function that reacts to those axis mappings that we set in our Unreal function and in our Unreal engine. We will not touch tick for this. Instead, we will create functions in your .h or .header files to handle forward / backward and right / left. Bind them to axis mapping and begin play. Okay, so here's how it look in your H. So this is under our begin play. When our game begins, we create a void. I'm assuming it's a function because I don't think it's inside of a class. So we create a void function that requires a floating point value. We go with something like handles right / left inputs. We create a void move right sys function as well that requires a parameter of a floating point value. And then in our C++ file, I see how this works actually. And in our C++ file, under our begin play, you'll bind these. We use the input components sys keyword, which is going to be pointing towards a bind axis. I want to bind my move forward, this, a boss actor move forward. I want to say my a boss actor to move forward. Okay, so this is a scope resolution operator. Okay, I see. I gotta ask a question about this, but I'm pretty sure the explanation is going to be down here. It's not. Okay, then move forward and move right function will actually change the actor's location while the value from the axis mapping. Okay, so first let's actually do this part. In my header file, I gotta create two void functions. So in my header file, under my begin play, I want to create two void functions. The first is going to be something like move forward, and this should be the exact same name as I set in my Unreal Engine when I was going with the axis mapping stuff. This requires a floating point parameter of was it velocity? I forgot. Was it velocity? Okay, it's value. I mean, I could go with anything because this is like a parameter name. There we go. Now here's the thing I feel like guys, I forgot what I wanted to say. Hold up, maybe I'm gonna like remember that in a bit. I'm gonna go with something like void of something like move backward. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that requires a floating point value. Okay, remember what I was gonna say. The reason this is floating point value is because our axis mapping, it returns a floating point number, if that makes any sense. There we go. Now, once I'm done with this, I go to my boss actors as class. Okay, can you tell me if this is a good idea? I want to make this as a Python library. A new library in Python, people use a while loop or for loop to keep retrying stuff, and that can make the code run slow. So I want to make a better one where it's straightforward, not something where your code is slow and you can only do bad retries. Good idea. Honestly, it does sound kind of cool. Okay, that's it. Now let's go to sensei/chatgpt up here. Now for my C++ section, I gotta go ahead and use the input components as keyword, and then I use a arrow mark operator which points towards my bind axis. So I want to bind the axis to my move forward. Okay, this actor move forward. I see. Okay, that shouldn't be as hard, but I gotta ask what the this does here and what the bind axis does. I know like theoretically what it does, but I want to like know in a way that I can explain it as well. So that goes under my enable input. Once I'm done enabling my input, I'm going to go with something like input component. There we go. Okay, so I go with input component, which points towards my bind access. So I'm going to go with something like bind access with a pair of parentheses. That does require 3 parameters. Did I spell bind access wrong? What up, guys? Is my spelling wrong? It's bind axis. Okay, that requires 3 parameters. AXIS. I think it's correct. Okay, okay, is my input component wrong now? Man, it is correct, guys. Okay, so this is going to be for my moving forward. So I'm going to go with something like my move forward says axis mapping. And then I go with something like this. My third parameter is going to be, does it say what parameters it requires? There we go. My third parameter is going to be a boss actor object. Okay, so a boss actors is object. Okay, so I got to go with something like a boss. Let's go with something like a boss actor with a scope resolution operator, which is going to be pointing towards let's see, what was it going to be pointing towards? Let me go to my .h, my move forward. I'm assuming it's move forward. Let's copy that. Let's go ahead and paste it here. There we go. But here's the thing, was it the memory address? I think it was the memory address. There we go. It's the address of operator of my move forward. There we go. So there we go. Okay, the reason I use the address of operator is because when I move forward, I don't want to like move a copy forward. I want to move my actual component forward, ending with a semicolon. Now I'm going to do the same thing but for my move right. So I'm going to use the input component. Let's go with input component. There we go with a arrow mark operator. Okay, because I'm going to be pointing towards my bind axis. Let's go with something like bind axis with a pair of parentheses. Now, I want to go ahead and firstly add a parameter here that has the name of my move backwards. So, there we go. And this is the name that I set inside my Unreal Engine. So, the name is going to be really detailed. I mean, really specific. That's the next time I'm going to go with something like this. And then let's go with a comma. And then the third parameter is going to be, let's see, first parameter is going to be an axis name, which is my move backward. Next is going to be a boss actor's object. So my object is this. Okay, I gotta ask what the this does here. And then I have a void function. So now I gotta go ahead and add my function name. Oh, I see, which is going to be inside of my boss actor. So this is my function name. Okay, and I do need only a void function. So I'm gonna go with something like a boss actor. This is my class. A boss actor's class is gonna be having a move backwards as function. There we go. Then I ended with a semicolon. Now that I'm done with this, I have a few questions. Let me get some /ChatGPT up here. Let's scroll all the way down here. Let's copy this part. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like sensei. I added the void functions to my main loop, actually to my .h, and the input component. Was it called input component? There we go. And the input component okay, to my .c++ file, to my .cpp file. But I have a quick question. Okay, so here's my question. Can you explain me what's the code in the .c++ file actually does? Because I know what the arrow mark operator does, but why did we use input component, and why did we point it towards a bind axis? I do know these answers in theory, but I don't know like in a way that I can actually explain it. So that means I don't know it properly, guys. Let's go with something like input, there we go, component. And why did we have this as our second parameter when it asked for a object in my, actually, when it asked for an object when I hovered over my function, question mark. Okay, let's see. You need move forward and move right, not move backwards. As you move backwards. Oh, I forgot. Guys, how do you pay so much attention here? I gotta like work on that stuff. There we go. Okay, wait. Move right. Okay, this is going to be move right. Was my name move right? I gotta like fact check myself now. Hold on, guys. That should fix this. Let me open my Unreal Engine real quick. Okay, now let me go to my... let's go under edits. So under my edits, I'm going to go to project settings. In my project settings, I'm going to go ahead and find input down here. Once I find input, move right. There we go, guys. I don't pay enough attention in this stuff. Okay, I gotta like pay more attention there. That's it. I appreciate you, No Bro Studio. I feel like you guys are way too good at this stuff. Okay, already pay attention. This is important. I won't let you half understand this. Let's break this down. Let's break this line down slowly. Input component bind access. Move forward. The memory address of my move forwards is function. Input component. Every actor that can receive input has input component. Think of it as the ears of your actor. It listens for key presses, mouse movement, or access values. Without it, your actor is deaf. Bind access. Let me drink some coffee maybe. Bind access is a function of the input component. It tells the engine whenever the axis named move forward changes, call this function and press the axis value to it. Move forward, this is the exact name of the axis mapping you created in project settings. Unreal looks for a string match. No match, nothing happens. Now about the this, okay, this is the exact moment axis mapping you created in project settings. Unreal looks for string matches. Oh, I see, okay. Okay, this is the object of the bind axis. This tells the engine whenever the axis press move forward. Okay, this is the object the function belongs to. In this case, you're a boss actor. The engine needs to know which instance of the class to call the function on. If you didn't pass this, Unreal wouldn't know who moves forward function to execute. I see. A boss actor move forward. The and here is giving a pointer to the member function. This is where we had to declare a move forward floating point value. Okay, in the .h, this engine calls function automatically pressing in a float between -1 and 1 depending on your input. So in English, hey Unreal, whenever someone presses a key that changes move forward, call the move forward function on this actor and give it the axis value. I think I see, guys. Even the name of the binding should have been move right in the code. I see. Okay, the name of the value. So let's go all the way up here. Wait, hold up. I gotta open my Unreal Engine. Okay, I meant not Unreal Engine. I meant my Visual Studio. Okay, so even the name of the binding should be move right. So even the name of my binding. Isn't this like a function name? Okay, that's it. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and hit Control S here. And let's hit Control S here as well. Get sensei/chat GPT back here. May say something like, I see ... That said, what is the next thing that we might have to add ? Okay, let's see while I drink some coffee as well. Okay, good, you're thinking ahead. I like that. Now we bound the inputs. The next thing to write the actual movement logic is inside your function. Move forward and move right. Right now, Unreal knows when you want to move, but it does not know how that's what comes next. So implement move forward float value, move right. You take the float value Unreal gives you from -1 to 1 depending on which key is pressed. You multiply it by your speed and delta time, then move the actor in the correct direction. Decide movement type. Okay, so I gotta use the add actor world offset, okay, which requires a few parameters. The first parameter is going to be a f vector. I did work with f vector last stream when I was like automating my object or my mesh/my actor. Okay, and then delta location. Boolean b sweep is going to be true. Okay, moves your actor in the world respecting collisions. Okay, or you could manipulate set actor location, but add actor to world offset is cleaner for input based movement. I think I see. I used set actor location last stream for automation as well. You wrote the name of the binding as move backwards for right, the first parameter. Did I? What up, guys? Let me open my Visual Studio here real quick. Move forwards, move right. You wrote the name of the binding as move backwards for right, the first parameter. Okay, let's go to something like... okay. This should be moved right. There we go. Guys, I'm gonna be paying more attention on these stuff from next time because this is like small mistake, but it could like crash the entire program, I feel like. That said, let me go ahead and just go here real quick. There we go. Okay, now optional clamp values or normalized movement. If you press forward, right, diagonal movement can be faster. Normalizing the vector, keep speed constant. Basically, binding the input was step 1. Actually moving the actor is step 2. If you want, I can write a reference snippet for both movement and movement rights that you can drop in your C++ and you actually see the mesh moving. Okay, let me say something like... Okay, let's say... Okay, because I do want to see the next part of code as well. Wait, this is a snippet. Okay, so in your boss actor C++, after you bound these axes, you need to implement the 2 functions you declared in your header file here in the reference. Okay, so this is in my boss actor C++. When I create a floating point value, I gotta wait, this is in my C++. I gotta go with void boss actor, so I use the boss actors' function, which requires a floating point value here. If value is not equal to 0, then I do something. I get its direction, so f vector direction equals to get actor forward vector, this function. Get actor from vectors, this function. Okay. Add actor to world offsets, this function, which requires a direction parameter that I created up here. I multiply that by my value, whatever input I enter. Multiplied by 600, I move with 600 centimeters per second. Okay, and then get world delta time seconds. I multiply that by my get worlds delta time in seconds. And then true. Okay. And then I do that for right as well. So move actor to right vector. I think I see another spelling. Move forward is also not correct. F-O... There we go, guys. I need to work on this part. I want to create epic moves. Epic movies. It's an editor, but I don't know Java and CSS and Python. That's a big problem. I see, honestly, if you do actually wanna, learn Python and you don't have a roadmap or you're trying to like find a roadmap, I do have a really detailed Python roadmap. So if you do want that, you could like let me know. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Okay, after fixing my errors, guys, breakdown value comes from your axis mapping. So my value is my... Oh, I see. Okay, so if I WS or 80, could be -1, 0, or +1. Get actor forward vector. A vector pointing where your actor faces right vector is perpendicular. I see. Add actor to world offset. So the get actor forward vector, a vector where your actor faces right vector is perpendicular. What up, guys? Let me actually check something. What does perpendicular mean? Okay, let's see. Okay, perpendicular at a right angle of 90 to a given line, plane, or surface. Okay, okay, so basically perpendicular is at an angle of right. Let me go to images. Oh, guys, could have shown you guys. There we go. Oh, I see. Okay. Perpendicular bisector. Guys, I'm kind of awful with this stuff. I was never good with geometry, I feel like. That's it. Maybe drink some coffee to jog my memory up. Okay, that's it. Now add actor to world offset. Moves your actor in the world true equals to check collision. 600 floating point your speed, you can change it. Get world delta time makes movement frame rates independent. Once this is in, hit play, press WSD. Your boss should move. If it doesn't, I'll yell at you, and it will be deserved. Okay, so this goes in my boss actor.c++. So okay, so I'm assuming in my boss actor.c++ under my play begin, I go ahead and should I go with something like okay, I gotta go with a void function, so I gotta create a function. So let's go with something like a void a boss actor. That is my class. I feel the B should be capital. There we go. A boss actor, which is going to be having a scope resolution operator. I want to get access to my move forwards function. move forward. There we go, my move forwards is function with a prof parentheses that requires the parameter of my floating point of value. Okay, then I go with the prof curly braces. Move forward. Let's go ahead and copy that, paste it here in case I had a typo. Okay, I did not. YouTube is super laggy. It says subscribe to the channel to use chat, but I'm subscribed. Guys, honestly, that does sound kind of weird. Like, let me actually check. Because, yeah, I honestly feel like it might be YouTube in that case. Because, like, usually when it says subscribe to the channel, that does actually work, honestly. That said, let's go here. Let's see. Now, it says, void a boss actor movement floats. So, void a boss actor. Why do I see a red underline here? Well, could this be because I gotta add this inside of my header files? I don't think I got added in my header files. Let's try adding in a statement real quick. Okay, let's see the error that I get. Member function, a boss actor move forward may not be declared outside its class. Oh, so this... Wait, hold up, guys. I am already inside my boss actor. Wait, should I create another? This is already a function. Let's copy that, delete it from here. Maybe, should I go ahead and create another function for this? There we go. Okay, so now, what is the parameter that I gotta check up here? So I gotta check if my value is not 0, move right in the actor. So I gotta use... Guys, let me get this in the other window because I think I want to, like, look at the reference code while actually writing this part. There we go. Okay, I'll go create Epic Games, the editor. Bye to all. Honestly, I appreciate you sticking through the stream. Just a big face. I'll get you next stream. And good luck with your creating Epic Games. Okay, that's it. Let's scroll all the way up here. Now let's go all the way down here. There we go. Okay, so now I check if my values, this parameter, is not equal to, let's go with something like not equal to point or floating point. Then I'm going to do something. I'm going to go with the prof curly braces. I want to get my direction of my actor, means the current location. So I'm going to go with something like f vector. Okay, let's go with something like vector. Okay, my f vector is going to be having a directions and local variable representing it. Okay, which is going to be equal to the get actor forward vector function. So I'm going to use the get actor forward vector function, and then I'm going to end this with a semicolon. Now here's the thing, get the forward x-axis vector length 1.0 from this actor. Okay, let's see what the get actor forward vector does. A vector pointing where your actor faces. Okay, so my direction says me where my actor is currently facing. If he's facing at east, he's going to be moving forward in the east. If he's facing towards the west, he's going to move forward towards the west, if my locations were right. That's it. Let's see. Okay, once I'm done with getting my direction, I'm going to go ahead and add my vector to world offset. So let's go ahead and use the add vector to world offsets this function. With a pair of parentheses, I spelled something wrong. Add vector to WORLD offset. Offset. Okay, this requires a direction parameter. What up, guys? Maybe I had a spelling mistake. Let's copy that. So let's go ahead and paste this. I had a spelling mistake. What did I type? Oh, add vector to world offset. It's add actor to world offset. Now, here's the thing. Hold up, guys. Let's go with a bunch of control C's. Maybe paste this here. There we go. Now, my add actor to world offset requires a direction parameter, which is the place where my player is actually facing. And then I gotta multiply that by my value parameter. Let's multiply that by my value. This is the value that my user actually clicks. If I hit W, I move forward +1. If I hit S, I move backwards -1. Then I'm gonna go ahead and multiply by my value by, let's say, something like 600 floating points. I'm gonna go with something like 600 point F, or I could go with something like 600.0 F floating points. This is going to be centimeters per second, centimeters per frame. So I'm going to move 600 centimeters type stuff. Then I'm going to go ahead and multiply this. Okay, so this is going to be a bit tricky to phrase. Get world, which points towards delta times second. So I'm going to go with something like get world function. I'm assuming the get worlds function gets me access to my world. So I'm going to go 600 centimeters of my world. Okay, which is my delta seconds. Delta seconds. I know what this does. It's just hard to phrase this part. Tell me if I get this here so it's more readable. Delta seconds. There we go. Okay. And then the third parameter is going to be true. seconds. Delta time seconds. So delta time seconds. Okay, so this makes my player independent to move on vector. Is that the explanation for that? Okay, so get world delta time second makes movement frame rates independent. Okay, so this makes my frame rates independent like my FPS. So I have smooth movement. Okay, perfect. Then I go ahead and end my function with a semicolon. Now, next up, I'm going to go ahead and create another void function, which is going to be exactly the same as this, but for my moving forward, actually left and right. So I'm going to go ahead and create a void function, which is going to be a boss actor. So it's a boss actor's function. And then I'm going to use the scope resolution operator. Okay, and then I'm going to be getting my move right's function. I did create my move right in my header files up here. My move right does require floating point parameter of my value, which is going to be A and D. Now I'm going to check something. Let's add a if statement to check if my value is not 0, because if my value is 0, I'm not currently pushing any buttons down. I might go with something like if value is not equal to 0, .of, because we return like my access mapping, the buttons that I click, it returns a floating point number. Then I'm going to go with the prof curly braces. Speaking of which, once I'm done with this, I want to use a restroom real quick, guys. Okay, that's let's see. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the direction of my actor, which means where he's facing. Is he facing towards the east, west, north, or south? Depending on that, he's gonna be moving. So I'm gonna go with something like f vector. Whoops, f vector. Okay, I'm gonna call this something like direction. A direction local variable is going to be representing my f vector as a structure. I'm gonna set that equal to my get actor forward vector. Get actor forward vector. I think I understand what get actor forward vector means. It means like where my player is facing forward. Like if I turn this way, that is my forward. If I turn that way, that is my forward. If I turn towards you guys, that is my forward. That's it. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and use the add actor world offset. I'm still kind of figuring out what does this mean. I know what it means in theory, like my actor is like, I get my position depending on my worlds as offset. So if there are like objects that I don't got to collide towards, I will be like recognizing those. This is more better than getting my actors as location. Excuse me guys, because I get my actors as offset on my world, like on my game type stuff. Now this is going to be requiring a few parameters. It requires a delta location, which in this case is going to be my direction. There we go. The second parameter is going to be, excuse me guys, a B sweep. What does B sweep means? That is initially set to be false and then hit result. Okay, it requires a B sweep. I'm assuming that's going to be my value. Like whatever stuff I click on my keyboard, I gotta like check these parameters out as well. And then I go ahead and require out sweep hit result, which is equal to okay, I do not understand that part, but all I gotta know for this is I multiply my direction by my value, which I multiply by, let's say, 600.0f. That is basically 600 centimeters per frame type stuff. Okay, and then I multiply that by my get world. Let's go with something like get world. This function, this gives me access to my actual game world. That is gonna be pointing towards my delta time. Let's go with delta time seconds. Hey, where are you from? Honestly, I used to actually answer a lot, but these days I did like avoid saying that for like safety reasons. That's it. And then I added choose this parameter here. Okay, perfect. And then I go ahead and end my entire function with a semicolon. Okay, speaking of which, it's not a function, it's a method because this is my class. Okay, perfect. Now I just gotta run the game. I'm almost done with Python library, just testing it right now. That actually sounds kind of cool. Let me know how it goes. Okay, that's it. Now, if I did Control S here, if I did Control S in my header files, let's go ahead and open my Unreal Engine. The moment of truth, guys. If I were to hit Control Alt F11 to patch my code is patching right now. Here's my window that actually shows that my code is patching. Okay, let's see, successfully patched. Now that my code is successfully patched, I'm gonna do something. Let's get that down. Let's go ahead and run the code. Moment of truth, guys. I see my player here. Can't I move around? Oh, okay, I can. I was clicking the wrong buttons, guys. Huh? It works, guys, but I can't go towards the left or right. And my camera is still here. I cannot move my camera. But I can move my player. Okay, at least that part works. Even my A and D moves me left and right. Okay, you have an interesting accent. What's your native language? Honestly, let's think. I did like whatchamacallit. I've been speaking English from when I was been growing up, so like I'm pretty fluent in English, but I do know a bit of Hindi type stuff as well, but I'm not like as fluent in it. Many of you guys do say me to like commentate in Hindi, but the reason I don't actually commentate in Hindi is because I feel like I do know how to phrase stuff, but I don't know like all the words in the dictionary type stuff, so I wouldn't be able to like convey myself, guys. That said, in your move right, you got get actor right vector. Get actor right vector. Let's see. Okay, so I gotta go with the right. Okay, speaking of which, I didn't actually think of this part type stuff, but I was like, this means pointing forward type stuff. What if I went with left vector? Would it be the same thing? Okay, it does not mean the same thing. So right and forward actually is something. Okay, now if I did Control S to save the code, let's go to my Unreal real quick. Now, if I did Control Alt F11, let's see, let me patch my code real quick. So once I'm done successfully patching, I'm going to go ahead and exit that. Let's run the code and let's see what happens. Let me actually get this like lower. I can get my player forwards. I can get my player backwards. I can get my player to the left, to the right. All I got to do right now is add a third-person perspective camera, guys. But I'm not just done with this part. I wanted to try writing it on my own so I actually understand how this part works. That's it. Let's go ahead and escape to exit my program. Maybe go all the way there. Oops. Guys, it's still hard to control Unreal's this thing. Okay, got an error. I'm fixing it right now, but I might be done with it soon. Honestly, that does sound kind of cool. Good luck with fixing it while. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and get this window extended up here. Hey, what are you presuming? Like education and all? Eventually, I do want to be an AI engineer where I actually build and like make AI type stuff like chatbots or like real robots type stuff. But for the time being, I am like working on a programming series. It's like the program for like 250 series. Where my goal by the end of this series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. And since I thought I was going to be making a game, I thought I might as well learn C++. So I went through C++, I went through SDL. Now I'm going over Unreal because I do have like, I think about 150-ish days left. So I think that much time should be pretty good, guys. Okay, so let's see. Next up, once I'm done with this, I want to go ahead and write it on my own. But before that, I want to get sensei/chat GPT. Did I exit the chat? Okay, I did not. Let me get sensei/chat GPT up here. Let's go ahead and extend this. Let's go ahead and extend this from here as well. Okay, let's say something like, whoops. Okay, so let's say it works, exclamation. I do need to practice the code now, so I will be practicing by writing the code a bunch of times. But thank you, exclamation. Guys, we should always thank our teachers. Okay, that's interesting. Keep going, bro. That actually sounds kind of cool. Is this Unity? Honestly, it is Unreal. Okay, that's what I want to hear people practice. Practice it over and over again. Write it until your fingers memorize every F vector, every delta times seconds, every add vector to word offset. Make it so you can write it blindly without thinking. Remember, steel will never become a sword without being burnt and beaten with its own words. Guys, I don't think this is my quote. That said, let's get my C++ up here. Now, let me read the code once before I write it on my own. I create two void methods because I'm assuming this is a class. So two void methods that require floating point parameters. Let's delete this. Now, I'm gonna go to my base actors class. Right now, it shows red underline because I did delete the stuff from my main function. First thing that I gotta do is create input component. Maybe I go ahead and paste this here real quick. I want to learn the function names first before I can actually write it. So I might write it like while looking at the reference real quick. So I need to create a input component because I will be using inputs to... Okay, and when I automate stuff, I create a mesh component. I'm starting to see how the components actually work here. My input component is going to be pointing towards my bind axis. Let's go with something like bind axis. Okay, now, is there like the docs depending on what the bind axis actually does? Okay, I went to search online. I'm assuming Copilot is going to be explaining this because I know what the bind axis does, but I do need some kind of like an explanation type stuff. Let's get that a bit there. Okay, let's see. Okay, isn't there anything here, guys? Just XHO on header. Okay, maybe I just go ahead and exit this. I do want to go over the docs because even though I understand what it does, I want to like see a pretty much good explanation of what it does. Binds a delegate function and access defined in the project settings. Return reference is only guaranteed to be valid until another access is bound. 2 overloads. I mean, I might have to watch a few YouTube videos on this. I might do that off stream though. That's it now. I go with input component of bind access, which requires 2 parameters. The first parameter is going to be my name that I kept it when I was setting whatchamacallit. It's in the project settings here. When I was setting my inputs, so if I were to go to my input down here, there we go. When I was setting my axis mapping, so I have a move forward and a move right. I gotta go ahead and add those 2 words up here, so I might go with something like move forward. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with this. This is basically points towards my actor, because without this, Unreal Engine or like C++ wouldn't know who I'm pointing towards and which object to move. This is going to be the object of my boss actor. And then I'm going to be requiring the memory address of the button that's currently being pushing, because I don't need a copy of the button type stuff. That said, I'm going to go with something like a boss actor. And guys, I feel like I want to test what happens if I don't add the address of operator. I might try that as well. That's it. I'm going to go with something like move forward. So I need to add my function name. So my move forwards method is inside of my boss actors class. The two colons is a scope resolution operator. Once I'm done with that, I go ahead and create another input component. Okay, with a another input component which is going to be pointing towards a bind axis. So I'm going to be binding my axis, which requires a few parameters. It requires axis name. My axis name is going to be was it something like right movement or move right? Let's go with something like move right. Whoops. Move right. The next parameter is gonna be me pointing towards which object I'm like actually working on, or which object needs to hear the input movement. I'm gonna go with this because it's my this object, my ABoss actors objects. Oh, so this whole thing. So this class is object. Is that a real human or AI? Guys, I'm a real human. I do get that a lot, but I'm kind of confused. Is that like a compliment or not? That's our next. I'm gonna go with something like a boss movement. Let's go with something like a boss actor. The B must be capitalized. A boss actor. Okay, and then I'm going to use the scope resolution operator, and then let's go with something like a move right. Okay, perfect. Ending with a semicolon. Now, the reason I can't use move right is because I had a typo here. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now, okay, I think I see. So I created an input component here. Once I'm done with that, I gotta go ahead and create 2 new functions. Actually methods, because methods inside of... I don't think this is a method, guys. Is it a method? Because, okay, this looks like a... This is not a class. Those sets default values, a boss actor. I mean, I think it's a function, not a method, guys. This is a method that's inside of my header files here, because I create a class up here. Okay, now for my methods, firstly, I'm going to create a void method, which is going to be for my move forwards method. Okay, so this is if I click W or S. Okay, so it has a scope resolution. The move forward method is from my ABoss actors class. Oh, this is my ABoss actors class. I see how this is happening. So I'm getting my method from my header files, and I'm getting a method from my this class using the scope resolution operator. That makes sense, which requires a floating point of value parameter. Then I use a if statement to check if my value is not equal to 0. If it's not equal to 0, I get the direction of my player. Which way is he facing? Is it front or is it backwards? Okay, using the f vectors of structure that is going to be represented by a directions of local variable, then I set that equal to get actor forward vector. We use this function to check if my player is facing forwards or my player is facing backwards. And then I use the add vector world offsets function. This function is going to add my vector to my game worlds as offset. I could use the get actor location function as well, but I think that's going to like ignore the obstacles and everything like that. For example, rocks and all that I need collision for. I don't know much, but I feel like I'm going to understand much more of this the more I use this stuff. That said, my add actor world offset requires requires one parameter, a delta location. Now I'm going to be multiplying my f vector, which means my directions is local variable, by my values as parameter, and then I'm going to be multiplying that by 600, which is centimeters per frame. So every time I'm clicking W, I'm going to go either backwards. I'm going to go forwards 600 centimeters per frame. If I hit S, I'm going to go backwards 600 centimeters per frame. Then I'm going to multiply that by my get world. So get world gives me access to my game world, and delta time in seconds is like FPS, like frames per second. So I'm not going like really fast back there. Okay, so I have an independent FPS here, and then I add true here. I don't know what the true means just yet. Okay, and then I do the same exact thing for my move right as well. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and delete this stuff because I want to try writing this on my own. Speaking of which, I forgot the enable input. Without the enable input, none of this would work. So I go with enable input, get world. So I give myself access to my entire game world, which is going to be pointing towards get first player controller. I'm assuming control is like whatever I click on my keyboard type stuff. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and delete that as well. Get enable input, get world. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Now let's delete these two functions as well because I'm going to try writing this on my own to see if I actually understood this part. And let's delete this. Okay, speaking of which, I'm going to be writing this after using a restroom because I have been drinking a lot of coffee, guys. So give me a sec. I'm going to use the restroom real quick and I'll be right back. Already mic testing. Okay, let me go to my gameplay screen, maybe connect my mic real quick. So there we go. Okay, perfect. Now, where was I? I was going to write these functions. So, to move my player, the first thing that I want to do is I want to create two methods inside of my header files. The first method is going to be a void method called something like, let's say something like move forward. Let's go with something like move forwards this method with a parentheses. My method is going to be requiring a floating point variable of a value. This is going to be the value that my user actually clicks on my keyboard, ending with a semicolon. And then I'm going to create another method. This method is going to be in charge of me moving left or right. So I'm going to set my method name to be something like move right. There we go with a parentheses, and I spelled forward wrong, guys. We got to be really careful with these spellings because F-O-R-W-A-R-D. Okay, because this is the spelling that I added inside of my Unreal's game engine type stuff. My move forward does require floating point parameter as well of value, ending with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done creating both my methods, I'm going to go inside of my C++ file. And here, since I am going to be working with inputs, inside my constructor. I'm assuming that's my constructor. So inside my constructor, I'm gonna go ahead and enable my input. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the enable inputs function with a parentheses. I feel like enable input is the exact same as I used for my SDL when I want to start text input, when I want to like type something. I feel here it's enable input. So I go with enable input, which does require a few parameters. The parameter is going to be my player controller, which in this case, I'm going to go ahead and give myself access to my game world. So I get access to my game world, and then I'm going to be pointing towards... Wait, was it called game world, guys? I forgot. Game world is undefined. Let me think. I don't think it was called game world. I think it was called something like... I think it was game world. Hold up, guys. Maybe let's go ahead and get some say/chat GPT. I think Duck here. Appreciate you joining the stream. Let's scroll all the way up here. Okay. Let me go ahead. Did I like paste my code even once here? Okay, maybe I go ahead and check it up here. So I do gotta go with input components, but before that, okay, so I gotta enable input. It's get world, not game world, and then I get first player controller. So I'm gonna go with something like get world. Let's go with get world. WORLD. There we go, guys. I have so many typos. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get my get first player controller. Okay, this is my player controllers function. I'm assuming the stuff that I click on my keyboard. Okay, I'm glad I didn't have a typo there. This enables my keyboard functions. I want to write this again in case I didn't remember it. I'm gonna go ahead and enable my input. There we go. Enable inputs function, which is going to be requiring a parameter of my players' control. So I'm going to use the get world. So I'm gonna get access to my game world, which is going to be pointing towards my get first player controller. So I'm going to get my players' controller first. I'm going to use this function. This is any kind of buttons that I click on my keyboard. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to end that with a semicolon. Now it's time to add components. So I'm going to go ahead and add an input component. I might go with something like input component. Okay, which is going to be pointing towards the bind accesses function. Okay. Bind access. Is bind access wrong? I'm finally done with the no errors, etc. I'll be uploading this to GitHub and then 5 so people can actually install the library. That actually sounds real cool. Good luck with that, while. Okay, let's see. Now, once I'm done with that, I gotta go ahead and let's see. Okay, I gotta get my components. So bind access. I think my function name was correct. So bind access. It requires no instance of overload. I think because I need to add a parameter here. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now my bind access does require a access name, which in this case is gonna be my move forward. Okay, so my move forward. And then I want to move this forward. I want to tell what do I want to actually move forward. It is going to be my class, okay, which is going to be my actor class. I'm going to be moving my actor forwards. And then the third parameter is going to be my method from my header file. So I'm going to go and type something like a boss actor. This is my class. Use the scope resolution operator of 2 colons and go with something like move forwards as method. FORWARD with a parentheses, and then I go ahead and end my input component with a semicolon. Okay, I don't think move forward is gonna have, it's not a function. There we go. Okay, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and add another input component because I have 2 axis mapping. One is to move forward and backward, one is to move left and right. So I'm gonna go with something like input component. Okay, which is going to be pointing towards my bind axis. Let's go with something like bind axis. Because I want to bind access with my input component, because even though my input component is set, my actor does not know it's set. So I gotta like stick that with my players as actor. So I'm gonna go with the pair of parentheses. Now this is gonna be in charge of my move right, so my right side. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with a comma. What do I want to move? I want to move this, which is my current class that I'm talking about. This is my actor class. And then I want to use my method. My method is going to be from my boss actors class, which is inside of my boss actors' header file here. So it's like this class right here. And then I'm gonna go to my C++ file, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add the move right sys method, ending with a semicolon. Okay, now that I'm done adding my input components, what is something else that I might need? I might need to add two functions to do something if any of my buttons are actually pushed. So I might do that under my begin method. So once my game begins, I want to do something. I'm gonna create a void a boss actors function. Let's go with something like a boss actor. My function is gonna be called something like move forward. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that does require floating point value of something like value. Okay, and move forward is basically me moving forward because I did add like the move forward as my axis mapping inside of my Unreal Engine. That's it. Now once I'm done with that, let's see. Firstly, I'm going to be adding an if statement to check something. I'm going to check only I want this function to work if not value, if my value is not equal to 0.0f. Actually 0.0 floating point. Okay, so if my value is not 0, if something is actually being pressed, depending on what's being pressed, I'm going to do something. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and get the direction of my player. So I'm gonna go with something like f vector. Guys, by player I mean my mesh / my actor. I'm gonna go ahead and call this something like direction. This is also called delta direction. I'm gonna set this equal to get actor forward. What's it called? Get actor forward function. Get actor forward function. Okay, keep cooking. I appreciate you, Neil. Guys, let's actually, get this working now. Okay, so the get actor forward. What if I go with control space? There is no interlessons. Get actor forward vector. There is interlessons. I didn't know about that. Then I end this with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done getting my actors' forward vector, I'm gonna go ahead and check something else. But do you do class? Honestly, I don't like take any programming course or anything. I do like learn using Sensei / ChatGPT. That's let's say. Next up, once I'm done getting my actors' forward vector, I want to go ahead and let's see. I want to get my actors' get actor offset. Was it something like get actor offset location? Was this the function name, guys? Okay, guys, I have kind of a bad memory. Okay, I don't think this was the function, so I might go with something like get actor. There is interlessons. Okay, so it's get location. Hold up, guys, I forgot the function name. Okay, let's go all the way down here. What was the function name? Let's see. Okay, so it's the get add actor world offset. Okay, I gotta memorize this part. So it's add actor world offset. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the add actor to add actor world offsets vector. So I'm gonna add my actor to my world's offset. World in this case is my game world. Okay, it's Unity here. Honestly, it is Unreal. That said, add actor world offsets function is going to be requiring a parameter of my speed. So I'm going to go ahead and add my speed. Speed in this case is going to be my direction multiplied by my value. Okay, multiplied by how many centimeters per frame I want to move. I'm going to set it to be something like 600.0f. And then I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by my get world. My world's is delta time, my get world's is function, which is going to be pointing towards delta time. Delta time. Okay, I forgot. Delta time seconds. Okay, it was delta time seconds. And then this is not going to be a function. I'm going to add a comma and then add true. Okay, I don't know what the true actually means here, but I am going to be looking into that. And then I end this with a semicolon. Now, just to save time, I mean, I don't think I gotta save time because, like, I want to actually, like, write this part and understand it. So I won't be copy-pasting my function. I'm going to be typing another function or creating another function. from my a bosses class, so a boss actors class, I am gonna be changing or adding content to my move rights method. Okay, you know what? This is a method because I created it. It's not a method in my C++ class, but it is a method inside of my header files. So this is going to be something like right with a pair of parentheses of my floating point of values is parameter. Then I go with a pair of curly braces. Now I'm going to add a if statement to check if not value equals to empty. So only if my value is not equal to 0, that means something is being pushed. I want to go ahead and move my player. I'm going to go ahead and get my player's F vector, which is my delta direction. Which way is my player facing? Okay, which could be something like a direction that is going to be equal to the get actor right vector. Because this is going to be in charge of my right side, ending with a semicolon. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the add actor world offsets function. I'm going to be adding my actor to my world's offset, which is basically me adding speed. Now, this function does require a few parameters. The first parameter is going to be my direction multiplied by my value, multiplied by my centimeters per square. Actually, centimeters per frame. That is going to be 600 for loading point, multiplied by my get world. So let's go with get world with a pair of parentheses. That is going to be pointing towards my delta time in seconds. Let's go with something like delta time seconds. So, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and add true. And then add my function with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with this, delta time seconds, I think I misspelled times. Now, if I did Control S to save the code, get my Unreal Engine up here. Let's maybe go here. There we go. Now, if I do hit Control Alt F11 to actually patch my code, let's see what happens. Meanwhile, I want to read some coffee, I guess. It says build failed. The reason the build failed is because I forgot to save my code in my header files. Let's go with Control S here. Now let's open my Unreal Engine again. If I hit Control Alt F11, okay, it's going to say patch successful this time. Build failed again. Okay, did I save everything up here? Control S saved everything. Okay, it might be my delta time in seconds is wrong. Let me get sensei/chatgpt up here. Okay, it's delta time seconds. That is correct. Value correct. Function correct. Okay, here. Everything is correct up here. So apparently something was wrong real quick. Add actor world offset. So direction multiplied by value multiplied by 600. Get 12 times seconds. True. Okay, I see. Maybe in my boss actor something is wrong. Or input by an axis. This. Okay, what if I go ahead and use my debugger real quick? Let's use debugger, start debugging. Okay, it says result failed, other compilers. What error did I get? Total execution. Okay, so it says failed. Okay, hi doing MLY or Milo Runner. I appreciate you joining the stream. That's let's see. So where did my build actually fail up here? I'm assuming my function name, so this is move right, that's move forward, okay, which has parameters. If it's not equal to 0, I add vector to my offset. Okay, I enable input by getting my first controller. Okay, honestly, everything is correct here. Let me go ahead and get sensei/chatgpt up here. Now, let's actually see this part. So, I go ahead and create a move forward method, a move right method. I check move in the actor's forward direction. Okay, so I get my vector, which is direction. I add actor world offset direction value 600. True, I did that part. Did this part as well. Okay, then in that case, it might not be this part. Okay, input component by an axis. Move forward. One is move forward, one is move right. That should be correct. And then let's get sensei/chatgpt back here. Okay, what else could be wrong? Okay, I see what's wrong. So remember guys, when I back then said, you guys, I wanted to know what happens if I don't add a memory address here. It needs to be the address of operator of my buttons, so I don't get a copy of them, I get the actual thing. Now if I did Control S to save the code, open my Unreal Engine here, Control Alt F11. This time the patch should be successful because I added the memory address. There we go, patch successful. Let's go ahead and exit this. Now, if I were to close without sending. Guys, did I close my Unreal Engine by mistake? Alright guys, what do I do here? Close without sending. Send and close. Send what? Thanks for your help in improving Unreal Engine. An Unreal process has crashed. UE main. Send and restart. Guys, did my Unreal project crash? Is my code saved? Hold on, guys. This. Let's see. My Unreal Engine is loading. Okay, while it loads, maybe I drink some water. Guys, is my code safe or something? Restore packages. Skip restore. I want to restore every single thing. Restore selected. Everything is restored. Okay, let's wait for my Unreal to load. Unreal did load here. Guys, why does this not feel... I do not see it being saved. Is it actually saved? Let's go ahead and extend that. Open my Unreal Engine. Guys, I want to see if it worked. Let's go to Content Drawer. Engine. C++ classes. Wait, that is under my engine. In my content section, let's close my engine. Guys, where is my, whatchamacallit? Where is my classes? It's not saved or what? I mean, to be honest, it's actually fine. It's like almost the same thing. It doesn't even take that long to do it. I just wanted to see if it ran the code. Apparently, my Unreal crashed for some reason. File, new, let's go to basic. I see where I was kind of stupid, guys. I should have hit Control S and saved my map. Let's hit Control S to save my map. New map, under my content. I'm gonna go ahead and set this to something like map. Let's go ahead and hit something like save. I did not even save my map. Okay, I mean, at least I have a map now. This is my map. Well, maybe, I guess let's go ahead and add a object real quick. So I'm gonna go with something like build, actually tools, new C++ class. It's gonna be an actor class. Let's hit something like next. I'm gonna name this to be something like boss actor. This name is already used by another class. I do not see another class. Okay, where is my another class? So, item labels. Is there a way to restore everything? Because I have my project settings up here. Let's go to input. I have my input set here as well. In my map, or on my map. Okay, wait, what if I like hit Control Alt F11 to patch my code real quick? Successfully patched. Why does my game keep crashing if I patch my code? And Unreal process has crashed. UE main. Close without sending. Send and restart. Hold on, guys. Why does my game crash when I save it? Is it like an Unreal bug or is it like a code bug? Pretty sure it's not a code bug. Okay. I get my Unreal Engine here. Let's get it somewhere here. I think I should have since I ChatGPT. Why does that happen? Let's extend this. Now in my content drawer, I should be seeing my map. This is where my stuff should be saved. That's it. Let's open ChatGPT here. Let's say something like, let's say I did write my code, but when I hit Control plus Alt plus F11, my Unreal crashes, question mark. It crashed twice. Is it because of my code or something like that, question mark? Okay, well people, calm down. Unreal crashing like that isn't just a code mistake, it's more than hitting a nerf. Control Alt F11 is recompiling your C++ code while the editor is running, and that's risky. If there's any tiny error in your code or memory access, null pointers, or dangling references, Unreal will not forgive it and just crash. Close Unreal completely. Don't try hard compile right now. Build your project in Visual Studio first. The normal build button, not hard compile. Make sure there are 0 errors warning. Only after a clean build reopen Unreal. Okay, I guess let's try that. Let's go ahead and close my Unreal. Let's go to build. Let's rebuild solution. Let's see if everything goes perfect. Okay, it's still building. Okay, I think I wait for it to build, guys. So, okay, still building. Huh. Guys, is it just me or building never takes this long? Okay, so it says program insights, automation, automation tools, configuration, development, any CPU. I want to see if this works, guys. Oh wait, I think I see a tiny stuff here that tells me the building is done. I feel building is almost done. Is this really how long it takes to build code? Okay, results succeeded, 48 seconds. 52 succeeded, 0 failed, 1 skipped, so the build is correct. Now let's go ahead and open my Unreal Engine. God, the build worked. I just gotta open my Unreal Engine. Maybe it was a bug I think it was a bug all along, guys. Here's my Unreal Engine. Let's go ahead and get a new project. This is my main project. Let's go, guys. My map was saved. Let's open Unreal Engine again. Okay, let's see. Excuse me, guys. Okay, now inside my Unreal, why does it say main crash reporter? Let's copy this. I get main crash reporter, so it's like save and restart. Excuse me, guys. Let's see. So I get my Unreal Engine again. Yo, howdy Mochi Mochi. I appreciate you joining the stream. Let's see. Okay. So waiting for my Unreal Engine to open. Why do I keep getting a main crash reporter? I don't like. Let me actually get some say/chat GPT up here. Okay, let me say something like, let's say, when I open my Unreal Engine's main project, I get a main file reporter window instead of my Unreal window. Okay, let's see. People, that's a sign that Unreal doesn't know which project to open first. Usually it happens if you double click your project or your project file, but Visual Studio hijacks it, or the file associations got messed up, close everything, Unreal, Visual Studio, etc. Okay, let's close Visual Studio, let's close Unreal, let's close every single thing. Now I open Unreal first. Clean stale cache, stale cache. Honestly, what is stale? That's it. I open Unreal and IDE cache. I validate like IDE restart IDE. I see. Okay, that's it. Let's open a project. Let's open my main project real quick. So here's my Unreal. Okay, IDE Unreal/bug. Okay, I actually might try that real quick. Alright, guys, but let me see if this works. Okay, an Unreal process has crashed. UE main. Fine, send and restart. Would that work, guys? Okay. Let's see. Okay, why does Unreal not open? IDE it does not open. I keep getting this. Invalidate. Okay, an IDE cache. I invalidate like IDE restart IDE. Restart. Honestly, I did like restart my IDE. Close without sending. Thanks for your help. Please report. Bug submission form. Guys, I don't think I want to like fill that stuff. That said, let me get some say/chat GPT up here. Let me say something like, let's say I closed and I don't want to like use my chat up saying that I closed. I want this chat just to be for me learning the content. Maybe I go ahead and check this. I watched a YouTube video on that, but I should do that off stream. That's it. Maybe I do want to like end the stream. I mean, I don't think I've like done enough. That's it. Hiding long story. I appreciate you joining the stream. I want to see if it at least works, but I can't open my Unreal for some reason. Okay, so it says my program still crashed. Okay, I get my Unreal Engine here. Let's go to my projects. Open a project. Is it just that my project is not working? Okay, can I open like a new project? Main crash reporter. Okay, I might have to look on this off stream. We're very sorry that this crash occurred. Our goal is to prevent crashes like this from occurring in the future. Please help us track down and fix this crash by providing information to the... Okay, the second thing, what if I open it from my file browser? Let's go to Documents, Unreal, open my main function. I want to go ahead and open my Unreal main project. Does it work from here, guys? Let's see. Okay, will this work? The moment of truth, guys. I keep getting my main crash reporter. Should I actually exit the whole thing? Create a new project? Would a new project work, guys? I hope it does actually. I'm pretty sure it should be working. Let's see. Let's go with something like new project. I want to create a blank C++ project. I'm gonna call it a main project. Okay, creating project. Let's see. Okay, does my Unreal not open at all? Or does it open and say generating project files? Okay, let's see. Compiling C++ source code. Okay, so it is compiling C++ source code. I should have done it in this window so you guys could like see it as well. That's it. Let's see. Okay, compiling source code. Let's see. Guys, does it usually take this long? Okay. So it says compiling C++ source code. Let me actually check if the stream's going good by then. And by the time it's actually loading. There we go. Okay, what are you trying to do? Honestly, today I was trying to automate my object in SDL3 using C++. That's it. I could actually make my mesh move around. Although, there was a small error here. Not error. I did run into, my Unreal program did crash before I could actually run my code type stuff. Okay, and are you going to finish the game in day 100 or 250? Honestly, I'll finish the game in day 250. Okay, so I can open a new C++ program, but I can't open my old one. Might have to check what's this about. Let's go ahead and get this all the way up here. I wanted to see if my code works in this stream, but I might check in next stream type stuff. Let's extend this from here, extend this from here. What if I were to go to something like files, new level? This is going to be my basic. Content drawer is going to be empty, of course. I mean, I might actually look into this next stream. Let me get sensei/chatgpt up here again. Let me say something like, Sensei, I feel like I might have to watch a few tutorials on it, and I might do that next stream. So before I do end this stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers, question mark? Okay, let's see. Okay, listen up, puny pupils. Guys, puny people is kind of crazy. Every line of code you write teaches you something. Even when it crashes Unreal or makes you want to throw your PC out the window, don't fear mistakes, embrace them. And that's how you level up. And remember, the struggle you're seeing is the same struggle every great developer faced. Keep pushing or get left behind. Now go to something epic before the next stream. Okay, that's it. Let's go to my main camera. There we go. Okay, yeah, watch tutorials. That does make sense, guys. Alright, guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. That said, I want to like go like for longer, but for some reason Unreal is like crashing. Might have to check a few tutorials. That's it. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like, helps my algorithm, sharing makes you smart, and subscribing is like a cheer on top. That's it. I just start multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on TikTok and Instagram as well if I didn't meet the followers requirement. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description. And also join my Discord server. That's where I usually chat with you guys type stuff. Okay, wipe coder, to be honest, guys, I feel like, I don't think like I'm an actual wipe coder, because if I'm not wrong, wipe coding is like just copying code and pasting. I do want to like learn the logic behind the code type stuff. That said, but I'm also almost done uploading it. Check in the general chat. Honestly, I might check it. That's it. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.